Listen, babe. Oh, yeah. It's alright, alright, alright. 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 Listen, babe. Oh, yeah. It's alright, alright, alright.
Hey, what's happening? What's going on? Welcome to another episode of Hope. We are about to get, well, I'm going to say it differently. Jay-Z says it's about to go down. It's about to go down tonight. We got a lot of dope material, a lot of insights, some things we covered before that we're going to go deeper into. The whole goal is for us to convert some of these ideas and thoughts into action so that we can change our mindset, change our thoughts, which changes our actions, which changes our results. That's the goal. So as most of you guys know, Nana's out this week, so we're going to take the whole class to the head tonight and make it happen. So just like always, we're going to pull out our pens and pads and make sure we take good notes. And you might want to watch this class again because it's going there's going to be some things that might get missed because we're going to cover a lot of material tonight. So the theme of it is called Sheep in Wolves' Clothing. And there's a reason for that. But let's go to the next slide. Let's talk about it. So first, let's recap. We're going to recap a couple classes ago. You guys remember the class about currencies? Remember, there's myriads of currencies that are operating on the same plane. So money is just one of many currencies out there. So if you understand currencies and how currencies work, then you can manipulate, you can trade, you can create identities from those currencies. And a lot of times, if you stack currencies, maybe you don't have money right now, but you're rich in other currencies, then you can parlay those currencies to start generating revenue or more revenue. That makes sense? Guys, remember that? What it says is, and Shabisha's on her way, but I'll play a role. It says, many currencies are in play in your world. The key in business is to understand what they are and how they rank in order of importance, which means if you have a particular demographic that you are marketing to, a particular set of customers that you want, but you don't understand all the currencies that are in play, you could lose because you're just playing the money game. You're playing the money game as a currency. But if in some arenas or some demographics respect or loyalty or fear or all those, there's other currencies that have a higher rank or higher value than money, then you have to know how to use those in order to generate rapport and trust with your customer. Same thing in life and in relationships. You have to understand what currencies are in play. If, for an example, in a relationship, if you think providing revenue is a top thing in a relationship between you and your significant other, and you doing your thing, you're making money, you're buying homes, maybe you have the material stuff, because money currency is what you think is the most important in a family. But say your significant other thinks spending time is the most valuable currency. So this whole time you thinking you doing great shit, but you ain't spending a lot of time because you busy working. You out, you doing your thing, you making it happen, you sticking and moving. You come back, you thinking you the shit. Look, I'm making this much money. The house is taken care of. It's clean and a nice home. And the whole time your significant other is miserable, ready to divorce your ass because you didn't know what other currencies were in play on the other side. And it's like, I don't give a shit about the money as much as I do about quality time with family. Because what good is family and all this material shit if you ain't home for us to enjoy it? And neither side is to blame. The blame on either side is that there's a disconnect in understanding currencies. So this can be huge. This can be a huge L for you. And this can be a huge win for you. In relationships, life, and business, those things are key. Have you ever seen somebody who you assumed that the person who was with was way out of their league, but you're like, how'd they get that person? Because she's a 10 and he's a 4, right? You don't understand the currency game, because there's other currencies that are in play that is beyond just the surface it looks. See what I'm saying? So this is huge. That's why we brought it back a couple weekends, because this is huge. When you are marketing to your customers, do not play the 1 + 2 = 3 game. This is the product. This is how it'll solve your problem. Buy it. Give me the money. Nah, I need to understand what other currencies you playing. Because if company B over here solves that problem, but they also are generating currencies and other values, then you're going to lose every fucking time. Every time. I remember one of my competitors told me, he said, hey, check this out. I just took two of your customers last weekend. I said, word? He was like, yeah. And here's the deal. You ain't going to be able to take mine. I said, word? He's like, yeah, here's why. Because I've been going to bar mitzvahs, weddings, baptisms, for years with my customers. So it ain't just about the money no more. Because their values are loyalty and family. And once they bring you in as family, then they're not going to betray you over some money. So I've been doing this shit with my customers for years, so they ain't going nowhere. That's what he told me. And you know what? I learned from it, because he has a point. He understood the other currencies that were in play with his customers and knew how to lock them in. So it's imperative for you in business to understand the currencies, the culture. What's important? What's important? So a product to a 12-year-old is way different to a product to a 22-year-old, and way different to a product to a 32-year-old. It could be the same product. What are the currencies? A 12-year-old kid is going to 7th grade. So they're going to go from being in one classroom all day to 6. Take that note. So the confusion, that first year of confusion in 7th grade is scary for them. They especially the boys. So they don't even know how to navigate for the first 5-6 years of school, and they were going here, and now they're thrown into this. So they're already confused. The second thing is they're preteens. They're going into puberty. So now they don't know what's cool no more. Before, they just wanted to play. And now they start being self-conscious about what they look like. It's new. So the currency of cool is important. And not just cool, the currency of not getting made fun of. That's the big thing. If I can go to school, being cool, that's great. But at least not get roasted. Not get capped on by what I got on. So there's a currency of cool at play that's way different than the currency of cool in high school. So you got to understand that. There's the self-consciousness and the low self-value in middle school is at an all-time, is way lower than it is in high school. You got to study that. You got to know it. So if you have a massage practice, why does somebody need a massage? Why do they come to you? Why? Why'd you come here? Why do you come here regularly? What's going on in your life that you need this? I know all y'all. I know all y'all business. And I know, and I because I need to know. It's my business to know, y'all business to know why. To the point to where I can almost pinpoint when I'm gonna get that call when you coming. Cause I know you should be stressed out right about now. So I'm gonna send you an email with the day before that. Hey, I know life gets to you. We're gonna send out a special for you to come through. Come, and I make sure. I know life's stressful out there. I'm gonna take. How'd you know? I know all the currencies. I know them. I know the currencies at play. You become an AI. It's an algorithm. You're running algorithms in your mind about your customers, and you almost can pinpoint things, probabilities. There was a woman who sued, I forget if it was Google or Yahoo, I forget, because she started getting advertisement for pregnancy stuff. And she didn't even know she was pregnant yet. It's because I guess the algorithms was monitoring her behavior so much on the internet that it was able to predict that this woman was pregnant. And she like, that's scary. But that's, you want to grow in this business game? That's what you got to do. That's what you got to do. That's what your competitors is doing. So you ain't got a chance if you're not. That's part of customer service. Knowing the currencies. Knowing the currencies. So it's not just 1 + 2 equals 3. There's layers, levels that you have to be thinking about in terms of what other currencies can I offer my customers to make them feel more locked into the culture of our company. I remember Jordan started posting customers. They come in, they get their uniforms, and he just started just trying shit on Instagram, and he would post the uniforms. Hey, coach, shout out to so-and-so team for rocking with us. Great uniforms. So it was just a thing. Nobody's tripping on it. No big deal. 2 months, 3 months later, coaches would come pick up and they were like, hey, you gonna post our stuff, right? Or man, I'm mad that how come you don't post our stuff? It became a culture. It became a currency. I got you, coach. Don't trip. Like, we got you. It turned into a currency. So now that's part of the currency, that value that we add is like, oh yeah, and we'll showcase you on and they're like, yeah, this is dope. They waiting for it. They're waiting for it. You create currency, and that's the currency of feeling important, feeling valued. What other company is going to do that? This one right here is a banger. Playing the currency game. Sometimes when you have time, 30 minutes, an hour, sit down and I want you to grab your notebook and pen and reflect on what currencies are in play in your business, aside from money. Now, if I'm around a group of sales folks, I know money's number one or pretty close. Or a bunch of hustlers, I don't have to ask what's number one, but what other ones are they? Next slide. So, how can I serve you? And other questions successful businesses ask. So the reason why this is next is understanding the currency game is one of the ultimate forms of service to your customers. As you notice, that's why sometimes this Hope class shit be hella funny, because it's almost like it be predicting the future. But right now, black businesses, especially in Atlanta, are getting slammed online because of their customer service. The Keith Lee shit, like people are now being outward about how they're sick of a lot of black businesses and their shitty ass customer service. And we've preached this so many times, is how we separate ourselves is asking the question, how can I serve you? What can I do to serve you better? How can I give you better customer service than I did the last time? How can I improve on what we did with you the last time? How can I serve you? Predicting your customer's behavior is one of the best ways. Looking at patterns, evaluating patterns, and seeing, where can I add value? What things can I add to this? What did I do? What can I add this year that I didn't do last year? What can I do to spark to make them? That is going to be one of the compounding things that help your business grow. Because here's one fact. Hi, Shabisha.
Hi, Cord.
Is most of our businesses are not that good yet. We're not that good yet. And if we are good, we got lots of growing to do. Lots of room for improvement to do. And I know our hearts and minds and souls love to say, I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best. But you got to also be comfortable with saying, my current best, it's a 6 right now on the market. It's a 7 in the market. It's an 8 in the market, but it still has room to get better. Has room to get better. So the question that you have to always ask is, how can I serve you? How can I serve you? Ego is the enemy in this situation. So we got to be like, fuck your feelings. Fuck what you feel. That you're not my customer shit is bullshit. Like I said, if you haven't started grossing heavy, well into the 6 figures in your business, you don't really know who your customer is yet. You don't know. You don't know who they are. You're still figuring it out. Because out of 1,000 customers, now you can start finally seeing who your actual customers are. Let me do some data collecting. Here's my potential, who my customers might look like. Okay. And you can understand how to serve them better. But if you don't have the right or the luxury to be like, you not my customer. That might be your customer. That could very well be your customer. And you just threw your customer in the trash because you didn't feel like your feelings was attacked. You felt attacked by what they were asking you. Understand this. The question you always have to be asking in business is, how can I serve you? It doesn't mean you're a pushover. It doesn't mean you do everything and anything that the customer asks you to do. It doesn't mean every word is yes, yes, yes. It means your business is predicated on your customer service and your ability to make that customer walk away happy with a smile, so much so that that customer is willing to go tell someone about you. Marketing budgets ain't big, I'm sure, in our group. So one of the biggest marketers that you can have is a happy customer. Happy customer. Think about it. if you were ever a customer and you were super excited about what you experienced, you told somebody, you told a couple people, you told a few people. And those few people, maybe one or two of them bought, and then they told people. Like, I'm telling you, that is one of the secret sauces to successful business. I just over the weekend, we went to New Orleans. I don't rely on Yelp or none of that. I went in and looked for people. I said, yo, who got the best gumbo in this town? They told me. I went every black person I saw who got the best gumbo in it, until I started the poll numbers start rising. And whichever ones had the most votes, that's where we go. That's how you eat. Is the impression you left on your customers. That's how you eat. And you don't know who's speaking on your behalf or not speaking on your behalf. How you eat a lot of times depends, especially if you're a brand new business, depends a lot on word of mouth. And word of mouth is predicated on how well you serve your customer. There's no difference between if you're a server at a restaurant or if you have an apparel business or a massage business or a gym or a hotel. You keep the same energy. It's the same energy. And the energy is, how can I serve you? How can I make this the most pleasant experience that you ever had? It took me years to learn that. I remember I got an opportunity. I was a busboy at a restaurant. And I don't like, at the time, I don't freaking like talking to nobody, but I was a hell of a busboy. So they thought, we going to promote you because you kicking ass. So I was like, it was like, you should take it. There's better tips and blah, blah, blah. It's like, all right, I'm going to take it. So I walk up to the table. I said, how you guys doing? And she's like, we're not guys. We're women. I said, how y'all doing? Like, can we get past this? And so they was like, ugh. I knew I wasn't getting no tip. That was my one and only day as a server at a restaurant. At the end of the night, I'm good. I ain't built for this. But understand, once I learned that it's the same concept that you apply in any business, shit changes. Because guess what? In the black community, what's one of the pains we feel the most in society? Anybody? What's one of the pains as a society that us black people feel the most? Huh? Not getting credit. True. Not feeling appreciated. Being undervalued. Being overlooked. Being underestimated. Assuming that we thugs or whatever. Black folks in society, a lot of times the overgeneralizations about us affect us in negative ways. Is that true? So when you walk into a restaurant, a store, anywhere, we automatically expect to be treated like what? The bottom. So I've learned to play games with my mind, so it's funny to me. I said, oh shit, I got a security detail following me around. I feel like Obama. That's dope. I nod at him. Yep. Hey, yep. This is how it feels to be Obama. That's the game I play in my head. You don't even know who the fuck you following. But it don't matter because I look like this and I dress like this, right? Imagine you walk into an establishment and they go, hey, how you doing? Good to see you. Man, anything you need, let me know. I got you. I'll take care of you. What? For real? Yeah, I got you. Oh, you like, man, that one's dope. That one's a really good one. That's made out of a particular kind of leather. So they hand make it. So it's actually like really, it's an item that's really rare. Like I think that'll add a lot of value to your closet. Thank you. Yeah. Dope. Where you from? From so-and-so. I'm from, oh, that's amazing. That is different. You are already differentiating yourself in the market just by how you come at them, how they come at you. You're making them feel good. Now, is buying products a logical decision or an emotional decision? It's emotional. So fuck the logic. If you can make somebody feel good, you just converted their emotions and made them more favorable to purchasing your product. And if you repeat that every time, then you have a higher probability of selling, right? And if the market is treating customers like shit and you treat the customers like royalty, what kind of effect do you think that's going to have? Repeat business, right? They're going to keep coming back. You're going to keep coming back because they want that feeling. And when they go to the competitors and they walk up to the competitor's establishment and they say, what's up? What you need? Can I help you? You know the first person they're going to think about? Yo ass. I got to go back there. What was I thinking? What was I thinking? That's where I'm getting at. This is low-hanging fruit on growing your business. It's low-hanging fruit on scaling your business, not just growing, scaling. This is real talk. Every year we try to up our customer service somehow, some way. Every year. And when I started teaching this class, we was in the mid six figure company. Now we well into the seven figures. Why? Customer service. We switched from offering the best products to offering the best customer service and the best products. Telling you, this is the low-hanging fruit on scaling your business. We literally will role play on how to deal with customers and clients that I couldn't stand. I can't stand some shit. I couldn't stand that name dropping LA shit. But guess what? That's a customer. I had to learn how to navigate. The super nitpicky customer who every little detail they want to, man, get the fuck out of my face with that shit. Like, let me do me. No, I had to learn how to deal with customers like that. What are our strategies? The strategy is I'm gonna meet you. I'm gonna become more nitpicky than you. Okay, okay, well then let's get into all the weeds. Let's get through all the details of it. Let's really get in there. I'm gonna show you. So soon they're like, oh, well then you got it then. Okay. They back off. Because it's a trust thing. Like, I need to learn before I was quick to be like, man, fuck that and fuck them. You're not my customer. Guess what? Those customers make up 25% of my business, 30% of our business, 30%. Easy. So when sometimes our sales folks, Jordan, get frustrated with a customer, I'm like, I know, I get it. It's shit's weird, but here's the tools. because they are our customers. Because guess why? They are our customers for this reason. We positioned ourselves as the best. So people who think in that mentality, they want the best. So if you don't want people who have a high level of detail, stop saying you're the best then. Say we're pretty damn good or we mediocre so that we can have a mediocre conversation. So you can overlook some details because we said we was mediocre. So if we forget some shit, I told you we was mediocre. What the fuck you expect? I said I'm mediocre. But if we claiming to be the best, then you're going to attract some people who are the best too on the other side. They're like, prove that shit then. Because I know my shit. And if you can, or if you don't, or if they outplay you, then that's an opportunity for you to learn and step your game up. If you call yourself a high-end restaurant and you're like, I don't understand why I don't have my Michelin star, right? And you have some very picky people who come to the restaurant and want things a specific way. And when they say medium well or medium rare or medium or whatever, and your shit is one fucking hue off of that, you can't be complaining. You got to figure out how to corral your customers to where they're happy. This was the best shit ever. This was the best experience ever. This is not a game. And if you if you don't think it's that detailed, then you are a sheep in wolf's clothing. You want to be you like fuck being a wolf. I'll just put on a wolf outfit because it's too hard, and I'm doing my best. It's too hard. And if I put the wolf's outfit on, when I go out in the street, people are like, yo, he's a wolf. That's crazy. People get out the way. People scared. You get all the benefits of being a wolf. You get wolf groupies. You get the whole wolf experience without having to actually be a real wolf. Then guess what? There's a threat that comes. And you're like, oh shit, I didn't call 911. Call 911. Call the ambulance. Call 911. Like, no, motherfucker, you said you said you was about this. Now you got to prove it. And the times when you got to prove it is when you called on the carpet. You can't run. Can't run. When it's hard, when you gave your all and you spent and you exhausted. If you haven't ate, you do what wolves do. They hunt. They keep hunting. They find a way. They figure it out. Ain't nobody to run to, nowhere to go. You hunt. You find ways to get better and improve and evolve. That's the game. So how can I serve you is not a cliche. How can I serve you is fundamental for your business. If you don't have this, you will fail. And I guarantee it, because why? The whole phase of black business is dying. So people, they were giving out money. They were giving out situations, giving out things, codes, all these things that was being given out because for a phase of time, for a window of time, y'all black women was in, popping.
Silver.
But guess what?
Silver.
Everything comes to an end. Every trend comes to an end. And when it's popping, a lot of times that attitude prevailed of like, that's not my customer. I don't give a shit. And we were begging y'all. No, if you want to leg up in this game, it's how can I serve you? The humility, the ego is the enemy. Let's stay humble to the game and learn how to serve better. And And what happens a lot of times is people think it will never end. That it's forever. When the money's coming, a lot of times you think it's just gonna keep on flowing. This is it. There's no end to it. But it's all a cycle. There will be another trend that comes after this, and you probably won't be included. And guess what? If you still running around with these ain't my customers, or I don't like his attitude, I don't like what he said, I felt triggered, then you're fucked. And you gotta go back to work. You gotta go get a job. And there's nothing wrong with getting a job, but this is an entrepreneur class. And gotta fucking listen. Listen. We giving it to you. We're giving you what it takes. But if it hits you the wrong way or brushes you the wrong way, then you think, well, that's not in alignment with my spirituality. No. That bumped up against your ego. Your ego rejected it. And it was for you. I'm telling you, the phase is phasing on out. Who knows who's going to be the next group, entity that's going to be in front? Who knows? But you can never, as an entrepreneur, you don't rely on that shit. And you don't get drunk. No matter how much is flowing, you don't get drunk by it. You keep your head on a swivel. And your investors and all your investors, the people who invest in you, are customers. That's your number one investor, your customer. It's every time a customer interacts with you, that is an exchange of value. That is they're investing in you. And you're exchanging, giving them their profit. Period. That's your step one. Step two, step three is scalability. That's different. But I'm going hard on the how can I serve you. I got time today. Shit. I got time today. We can sit back and talk about this. How can I serve you till fucking 9 o'clock? How can I serve you? How can I serve you? What can I do better? What didn't you like about it? What could I do better next time? Because I want your experience to be bomb. I want your experience to be amazing. At minimum, better than it was the last time. Because guess what? There's a law. It's called the law of familiarity. Law of familiarity. And that means no matter what it is, small, medium, large, astronomical, that if it happens 2 or more times consecutively, consistently, us as humans get used to it. And it's almost nothing. So if I come in and I say, hey, look, everybody in this room's going on a trip to New Orleans, and everybody goes crazy. High-fiving, hugging, jumping up and down, fun, all expenses paid. 5 meals a day. We gonna party. It's gonna be amazing. Everybody juiced, right? Everybody juiced. But if I came and did it again next month, the excitement will get a little go down. And then it'll go down a little more next time. And after the 6th or 7th time, people be like, fucking New Orleans, shit. I done did that already. Is this something new? What? All expenses paid? Because that's the law of familiarity. That's how the game go. So that's why it's always important for you as a business to always be in certain small things to improve. Get better just a little bit. People notice the smallest things. Oh, you guys changed it? Yeah, we did. Oh, that's dope. People notice the smallest things. Law. So understand that law exists. In relationships too. Law of familiarity. You laid up with somebody who was your dream person. Then over time, that part of them, the dream visual, that's at some point in time, that's going to fade. That's just truth. The excitement about it is amazing. I can't believe I scored this. Over time, if there's no other currencies in place in that relationship, you will get used to it. That's how the law of familiarity works. So consciousness, being conscious of it in business, we know what we got to do. That's why every 7-8 years, companies change their logo. Why Pepsi keep changing? Why does Coca-Cola keep tweaking their little cursive a little bit? Go back in time now. Every big company will change, tweak, alter their logo just slightly, just to keep you off balance and to keep you away from the law of familiarity. Now you go back in your mind, damn, you look up Coca-Cola's logo, it changed. They always changing it every few years, every 7-10 years, whatever the time. Adidas, big brands will tweak it slightly. Update it for today's time. Or you walk into a restaurant or you walk into a hotel or anything and they're upgrading and updating. That's preventing you from the law of familiarity. So as a business, you got to remember that and you got to do it. You got to do it. If not, then what happens is you won't understand why your customers are drifting. They got used to your shit. And in their mind, it ain't nothing new. Ain't nothing new. Any questions on that before we move? All right, next slide. Shabisha, you ready to rock and roll?
Yes.
All right.
No. Hold. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. The map is not the territory. There's been an accident.
Okay. Let's stop right there. There's been an accident. Can we get some mics, please? There's been an accident. What happened? Let's go around the room. What do you think happened?
We don't have no details.
What do you think happened?
That would be an assumption.
It would be, but let's make an assumption.
The traffic accident, car accident.
Car accident. Anybody else?
Somebody fell.
Somebody fell. Anything else?
It was an African American male in a hoodie.
I cannot stand Josh. I can't. I'm serious.
Where's the stupid button?
Are we talking about a literal accident?
What comes to your mind?
Because the first thing I thought about looking at that, it had nothing to do with like an actual accident. It was like somebody's product got messed up.
Products got messed up. Anybody else?
We just circling the room.
It's up. It's up.
I did. When I was driving in, I saw a huge fire. There was like something, an explosion or something caught everybody's attention on the roads or something like that, maybe.
Car accident. Okay, that was beautiful, right? Car accident. Somebody fell. Somebody's product. So if you go to the next part, it says what?
What does that mean?
Keep going.
Most of the time, it's the first thing that comes to your mind, your map.
Stop right there. Exactly. So every one of us has a map in our head. Every one of us. And everyone's map is different. So if you say a word, depending on your map, it's going to have completely different results and outcomes. So if I say accident, to you it can mean product. To you it can mean someone fell. You can mean accidents, car accidents. And y'all all could be right. But remember, it ain't never about being right. It's about the results. So that's why we're going to go deeper into the map is not the territory, so you understand the practicality of it, how it works, and how to use it. Everybody in this room has a different map. We make assumptions because a lot of times the ego tells us that how we feel is how everybody feels. But what you got to understand is the person next to you, may even grew up next to you, got a completely different map that goes completely different directions, has a completely different trajectory. That'd be way over here. That's why if you ever told somebody to do something and they did it, but they did it completely wrong, and you're like, what the fuck? I asked you to go there. And you was like, I did. And when you talk to them, they realize they did follow what you said, but they used their map, not yours. That makes sense? Let's keep going.
You have to drill down to clarify. Most of our problems occur because we fail to clarify what the other person means. We need to see their map.
Yo, most miscommunications come from not understanding other people's maps. The people we love, our children's maps, our loved ones' maps, our family members' maps, our business partners' maps, investors' maps, and our customers' maps. A lot of times we don't even know our own maps. We don't even know our own map. So we running around, all of us, miscommunicating with each other. Saying, I thought you meant, I thought you was going to do, I thought. That's where a lot of our suffering and our pain comes from, is miscommunicating and not understanding our own map and the maps of others. So understand, the map is not the territory. Never, ever, ever. All the map is your version of the world based on the input that you have gotten in life. Map is not the territory. So every single topic on every single subject, on every single thing on this earth that you've ever experienced is just yours. Know that. It's just yours. So the idea and concept of us running around thinking that we got all the right answers and we know shit, and no matter how many books we read, no matter how many books I read, no matter how many books anybody's read, we still reading from a map, period, not the territory. So that's why there's no real gurus. No real gurus. All a guru is saying is, here's a map that I have that works for me. And it might be general enough to where it can work for others. Try it. Period. Just try it. Religion says, here's a big map that's general enough that can work for millions of people. And here's a structure of this map. And this is how you follow it. And in general, this could help you. improve your life in general. Try it. Now, but it's turned into like, our map is better than their map, and we gonna kill these motherfuckers for not following our map. That's what it's kind of turned into. But it's really maps and territories. That's why if you are in India, your map needs to be slightly different because your culture is slightly different. Your culture is different. The territory is completely different. The thought process and how we think completely different. So as a marketer, because that's what you are primarily, a marketer, again, gotta know the maps and the territories. Because if you have the maps and the territories and the currencies, you got the map, the territory, and the currencies, and you're of service, it's hard to fail. It's hard to fucking fail. It's hard to fail. It's hard to fail. Next slide.
Your questions determine your ability to create clarity in any map. Always question everything.
Okay, so how you dig and how you find is through questions. How you understand how someone's map works, questions. So here's in our world and in your world as entrepreneurs, clarity is power. Clarity is power. Remember that. Clarity is power. You should probably write that down. As an entrepreneur in your world, clarity is power. The more clear you are about your maps, your customer profiles, the easier it is for you to win, because now you start to be able to see more clear. The world opens up. So imagine a blind person has no eyesight, can't see. Now, are they completely out? No, there's other senses, right, that can give them some clarity. So if your eyes are closed, somebody taps the wall to the right, somebody taps the wall to the left, somebody taps the back wall, somebody taps the wall behind them, guess what they have now? Idea of the exact dimensions of the territory. Somebody coughs over here. Somebody laughs over here. Somebody screams here. Somebody talks there. Now the room starts to fill up in their consciousness about who's there, where they are. Are they male? Are they female? So same in business. What we're looking for, when you start out to be an entrepreneur, nobody just comes out and be like, yo, you want to be this entrepreneur? Come here. Here, take this. Here's all the answers. Just start one to 100, and by the time you get to 100, billionaire. You're Rick Ross. No. It's an empty room with your eyes closed. It's an empty room with your eyes closed. So some people just start running around bumping into shit to give them some clarity. Your job is to find clues, get context, get content, get clarity. The way we do it is we ask questions. We ask questions. So you cannot be a part of the matrix, we'll call it, just for the sake of being easy, and accepting every fucking thing that anybody says. You got to question everything. You got to question everything. And if you get good at the beginning, you're going to be the asshole. You're going to be the difficult one. You're going to be the one that's party pooper. Oh my God, you always doing this shit. But when you get good, it'll be a little more seamless. But you gotta question everything. Everything. Because the more clear you are, the better you're able to serve. The more clear you are. Have you ever been in the presence of like a high profile person where you had a service job and they say, hey, so-and-so's coming. He's the blah, blah, blah of the whatever. And you're like, really? Okay, yeah, so he likes his water like this, room temperature. He wants one lemon on the side and blah. And he has a list of shit because people know, right? People know. Clarity. Because once you're clear, then it's easy to serve. Is that it? That's everything? That's everything. You do this, you good. Be his best. It'll be your favorite restaurant. So how you get that blueprint for your customers, you gotta ask. You gotta find out. You gotta dig. You gotta stalk. You gotta figure that shit out. What is it? This is where assumptions will kill you. Assumptions will kill you. I thought, and the minute you say, I thought, get the hook on this one. Hook them. You can't think. You ask to get clarity so you know. If you don't know, if you're not 100%, then you find out. Unless you're back against the wall and you don't have an option to ask or find out. That's when you got to make assumptions. And you're like, damn it, I got to make assumptions. Okay, let me use what I know to make the highest probable assumptions. You don't want to be in a position where you're always making assumptions. You rolling dice.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking about the COVID money and how many, specifically that I know, how many women and how many black women and brown women and non-white women got a lot of money. And I'm wondering what your thoughts are, kind of in hindsight, about how they could have applied these better during those times. Like I'm trying to like, what is the solution to that, and how do we use this to almost like rebuild that scenario, if you will? That's where my head is going.
Well, first thing for me is, I'm glad they got it. I'm glad. You know why? It's a Jim Carrey statement. He says this. I wish everybody who wanted to be a millionaire got what they asked for, so they realize that it's not enough. It's not everything. A lot of times, us as black, brown, non-white, we grew up poor, in poverty. So we maximize what we think money can do for us. We almost over glorify it. We glamorize it because it's been such a sticking point in our life, and we've been able to manage life without it so much that we're like, damn, if I get the money, imagine where I'd be. And so being valued so low in society, we think money solves our problems, not realizing that money is a byproduct of our actions. Money is a byproduct of our service. Money is a byproduct of how hard we go, our research. So when a wave comes along and you haven't positioned yourself mentally to receive it, then you're gonna fall victim to the same bullshit that a lot of people fall victim to when they get a big wave of bread, and that is, fuck it up. It takes that a lot of times for you to know being a real business person means. Now, if they learn from the experience, they will become better businesswomen from it. If they stay in the same space of blame, anguish, blaming the system, blaming customers for not supporting black businesses, acting like people owe them, and stay in that space, then it's going to be a destruction for them. The truth. Like I say all the time, I've been a millionaire a couple times. In order to be a millionaire a couple times, you got to lose the shit. And my first wave at being a millionaire, I fucked that shit up. I lost my mind. Can't nobody prepare you for that. I had listened to many books and seminars and people saying, hey, just be careful when it comes. You know, you have to learn how to manage it, keep your head straight. Yeah. I got that part. I just need to get it. I'll figure that out that's easy. I just need to get the money. Give me the money. Let me figure that shit out later. I'm trying to tell you, cuz. I'm trying to tell you. Guess what happened? A 30-year-old, 31-year-old kid with $500,000 in cash in his bank account. That's to the head. That's mine. Man, come on, blood. And I've been poor up until that point and just barely making it in life up until that point. I lost my fucking mind. I lost my mind. I thought I made it. I'm at Air Lounge, standing on the couch with a big ass chain, with all my partners around, popping bottles and shit, doing this and shit. Make Western Airline. We go just all the shit, all making the rounds downtown. So my disciplines ran out, my cockiness went up. Mm-hmm. Disciplines ran out, cockiness went up. The value I placed on what money can do, the currency of money, I overinflated it. So I'm not standing up here because this whole time I've had such a holistic approach to becoming successful and millionaire. No, I got to this place because I fucked it up. And a lot of times you can't prepare somebody for it. They got to experience it. Or if they're one of the fortunate ones to where they listen, then they're able to prepare themselves for it. I say this all the time. If you just happen to be the popular one in the middle of a wave and it's money on the ground, pick that shit up. I would never tell you, no, it's a wave. Don't pick that money up. Somebody's gonna give you $50,000 and it's a grant, man, pick that shit up. However, it's a big however. If you're not mentally prepared to what to do with that money, and you're not mentally prepared to the psychological after effects of what that money will do to your mind once it comes in, then it's dangerous for you. It's a danger more than it is a help. Because subconsciously, it will tell you, shit, that was easy. Huh, that's easy. This entrepreneurship shit is easy. Huh. Let's keep going. And you will drift. Now that talks about drift, and we're going to talk about drift some more too. You're going to slowly drift from entrepreneur mind to tap dancing on the stage for money, raising money mind. It's a slow drift. And you'll find slowly that you'll drift away from actually generating revenue in business to just trying to go after this grant, that grant. And next you know, all your energy is built up trying to get grants and you ain't building your business. I watched it happen. So I'm not a person that says, I'm logical about what happens. You gonna check this out. If you don't understand that if you haven't been in this game long enough and if you don't know about hype cycles, then you're in a danger zone when it comes to this. because everything is a hype cycle. You don't know the fickleness of the market and know that the same crowd that can be cheering you on can be booing you, then you are dangerous. Once you understand that, your highs ain't high, your lows ain't lows. That's why when I walked in, she was like, congratulations for the store. I know you don't be celebrating this shit, so I'm going to do it for you. I appreciate that. I absolutely do. But there's also a strategy, the reason why. Because any of us can get swept by the wave and start the mind, understand your brain and your mind, it's malleable. It's like a child. So no matter how much work, research, meditation, work on yourself, books you read, you've done, it still has the ability to drift at any moment in time. It has the ability to drift, and you got to know that. So you just got to basically say, you forever compromised. I'm forever compromised. I'm forever compromised. Especially, I ain't going to go there. I'm going to go there. But we're forever compromised. So that, I'll say this. If there was ever a way, I would adjust the cohorts different. I would teach this shit, and you have to hit major milestones. You have to show me that you understand this before you move to the next level of understanding. You can't get past this part until you get here. The thing is, it takes entrepreneurs to write the curriculum for this shit because they know the things that are below the surface that are major pitfalls in entrepreneurship, especially when it comes to getting money. Like when America went over to Vietnam, they didn't know that underneath the surface of the land, there was a city down there. So wherever they went, it was Vietnam right below them. So they couldn't understand why they kept getting booby trapped. Everybody knew where they were. They kept getting ambushed. What the fuck? Because it took them years to realize that there's an underground city down there. We play on a surface game so much, you got to know all of the games. So it takes entrepreneurs to know this shit. When I first started out as an entrepreneur, my mentor, it was like he was psychic. And I was really into the woo-woo shit at the time too. So it really used to fuck me up. He'd say, hey, I want you to do X, Y, and Z. And then come back and talk to me. Come back, he said, you didn't do it, did you? No, I didn't. You did this, huh? Yeah, I did. I told you not to do it. So here's the plan. I already knew you was going to fuck it up. So here's the plan for what you did and how you get back. Damn it, how'd you know? Come on, bro. I've done this. I've been you many times. Come back. You only did thing 1 this time. You didn't do thing 2 and 3 that I asked you to do. No, I didn't. Fuck. I knew you were going to do that. Here's what you do. And he will always know my moves. How? Because entrepreneurship and the psychology of human beings are so intertwined. When you in this game, you're predictable. Predictable. So that's what, like, I would rewrite the curriculum and I would start with it's not just about writing business plans. It's not just about projections. It's not just about P&Ls. It's not just about how cool your product is. It's not just about how well it's marketed. You need entrepreneurship psychology underneath all that so that it flows. I've done a lot of those cohorts. I've done a lot of them. And it's funny because the ones I've done it with, people like, Court, did you ever get money from XY company? No, I never got no. I don't understand. They got you all on the website. I don't know. I don't care. You should go back. They owe you some money. No, they don't. Nobody owes me shit. Because my success cannot be tied to no outside entity. Because in that moment, you're not a wolf anymore. You're a sheep with a wolf outfit. At that moment, the minute you like, oh, these cohorts, you're not a wolf anymore. You instantly just you turn into a sheep with a wolf outfit. Because real wolves do not lean on any of that shit. They don't lean on it. That's really the difference. They do not lean on it. You spend your energy building your business. If you caught up in a wave and they're like, look, investors now, they're investing in massage companies. Black women own massage companies. What? Really? It's temporary. Somebody want to throw you some. It's temporary. Whatever. I'm going to focus on growing my business. Point blank period. If I find some money on the ground, I'm picking that shit up. But I'm not now diverting my energy into this type of shit. That's just that. I mean, there's a fine line. Here's a deal too. There are business models that require investors. That's the truth. There are business models that require investors, but 95% of the time it's not true. 98% of the time it's not true.
That's a real statistic.
Yeah.
What he just said, like that's a real statistic.
Yeah.
95%, 98% of companies do not need and do not get investment. Like it's a myth that it's hella popular for no reason. 95% of folks don't get it, don't need it.
Yeah. So if you just tuck that in to your psychology, in your map, you move accordingly. Period. Just move accordingly.
So can you dive a little bit deeper into that? Because I know, like, from day one, you and I always talk about bootstrapping, but then outside of this community,
Keep talking.
Getting-
See how that's weird?
getting investors and getting people to donate or however you frame it, but outside sources to pour financially into your business. You said there's certain business models that do need that. Can you talk about what business models those are? Because I've always struggled with like, okay, should I bootstrap or is it okay to seek investors or welcome that and accept it if the opportunity presents itself?
Okay, so here's the map of an investor. Here's the map of an investor. Okay? I've done something in my life to where I've generated enough revenue to where I have more than enough for myself, to the point to where now part of my business model, because after money flows outside of myself to where I can generate a lifestyle, in order for me to continue my lifestyle, I have to split my money up in a couple different ways. Safe investments, T-bills, bank CDs, whatever, safe investments that'll give me, 7, 8, 9% interest return on my investment. Savings accounts, a little bit. You say you don't want to put too much in saving because it's kind of dead money. But a smart investor will put a little bit. They want to have a little bit of cash in case of some kind of disaster, banks collapse or whatever. They can at least pull out some cash. And then there's investments. Now, the investments have to give them a return in order for them to have the lifestyle they want in life. They're not just doing this shit for fun, right? So they're not dying to invest in nobody. It's not do or die for them. The world's not going to collect. Like, this is a way for them to have redundancy and runway in their life and build wealth, become more wealthy. And the idea of somebody who's already rich and maybe potentially already wealthy, the idea is for them to invest in something that pops, goes big. Then there's a small sliver of folks who are so wealthy that they have a false sense of how this world works, and they want to invest in things that make them feel good. I want to invest in this company that makes water that that if you buy one water, then they'll give some water in Africa. Or I want to invest in something that's made out of material that dissolves into the earth. Like, it's feel-good things. Another feel-good things is I want to invest in some black people. I know they're just down and out. So I want to give them some money. So black entrepreneurs, that just sounds so good. Like, I gave money to some black. That's the maps. Now, there's a lot of times there's no second order thinking to it. It feels good. It's an idea. George Floyd just happened, and I'm guilty. And now what black people can, they'll do a little bit of research. And the research poll showed in 2017-18, black women entrepreneurs give higher return than black men. That was a poll that came out in 2017. And guess where all the spotlight went? Whew, to y'all. It was like, men, get the fuck out the way. Move, 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 move. Black women are it, right? So investors don't do any more research than that. They think, oh, you have a higher return, so let me invest. So they blindly just start throwing money. They're like, wait a minute, time out, wait, hold on. We don't know much about black women. Actually, we don't know anything about them. So we'll throw the money at community CDFIs and organizations that are in the community to invest in them. We don't know much about them. We don't even know if the CDFIs are well ran, who was ran by, nothing. That's what we'll do. And in some cases where the CDFI or whatever was run well, then there's some value. But in a lot of cases, it was just like a crapshoot, right? So then, when the returns start coming back, they was like, yo, what happened? This ain't what the polls say. This ain't it. So when we say, so then immediately shut the faucets off. Shut them down. Shut the faucets down. Doesn't matter if you're mid this or mid that, shut the faucets down. We're going to hold our money and wait to see what the next big thing is or what feels good, because I don't feel good no more. I don't feel good no more. Because if I have to choose between investing in this or you, I'm going to choose this because it has a higher probability of return. Now, when I say there are some businesses, it's a small percentage. And what I mean by that is, if you need investment to start and not to scale, that's a problem. If you need investment to start and not to scale, that's a red flag. Because even if you like I said, if there are some businesses, meaning if you are a software developer and you wrote a software, you still need currency. You may not have the money, but you still need the currency to get investors. The currency is users. That's how you spark investors to say, oh, okay, all they need is the money. To say, hey, I wrote this software. It's a new app called DoorDash. And what happened was, we lived in San Francisco and we realized that there are a lot of restaurants in San Francisco that would love to do delivery, but they can't. They just don't have the infrastructure to. So me and my buddies, we wrote a software that allows random people to go pick up from the restaurant and deliver to a customer at their house. And we're the middle person. It's a true story, by the way. I listened to the whole interview. And so in 2 months, we got 100 restaurants to sign up, and we got over 300 DoorDash delivery folks. So we've generated over this amount of revenue with the resources we have. They ain't had no money. But guess what? They showed the value of the product. the scalability of the product. Damn, in 2 months? Yes. So then if you are an entrepreneur, and you have to look at investment as fuel to your fire, not the match, the stick, the start. It's not going to work, because starting a business always takes 3 times as much and fucking 4 times as long. So if it's a savvy investor, they're not going to want to do that. You got to get that shit started on your own. Now, the reason why we pitch and preach all the time is bootstrapping, is because the game you learn by bootstrapping, the creativity that you gain by bootstrapping, all the tools that you get when bootstrapping is valuable for you as you grow your business. Is absolutely necessary. It's the absolute equivalent of a butterfly. Not a butterfly, but the worm that's in the cocoon. What do you call those? Caterpillar. It's the equivalent. A lot of times of the caterpillar who, if they're inside their cocoon and somebody gives them a big chunk of money, that's the equivalent of just ripping the cocoon off, if they're not psychologically ready for it. They got to be psychologically ready for it. Company I work for, Intel. Intel was created. Intel is one of the biggest microchip companies in the world. Intel was created by 4 engineers who was working for another company at the time, designing computer chips for another company. They said, fuck this shit. We're going to start our own company. They wrote their business plan on a napkin and went to an investor, and they invested in them because they saw that they had the ability, they all were intelligent enough, and they had the track record of building high-powered computer chips, and they had the track record, MIT grads, all that shit, to be able to scale, to build something. You can't build a semiconductor factory off a bootstrap. But like I say, 98% of the time, which is all of our businesses, I say, all of our businesses, you can build you a prototype, you can start selling now, and you can grow it out. You can build it out. Period. All of our businesses. And the strength that you gain, the skills that you gain by bootstrapping and learning and not having money and helps you get better. How am I gonna do this? You don't realize that you're not good enough a lot of times when you have a lot of money at the beginning of your business. You don't, because part of you can sleep good at night. I can sleep good. I got. If I fuck up, I got money. If I fail, I got this money. I got a whole bunch of room. I got this money. But when you don't got none, every dollar you make do, you maximize every dollar. Every dollar. What can I do with it? Okay, here, dollar, $2. The truth. Quartzsmith was started with $300. 300. $10 a tank top, 30 tank tops. Meet me at 24 Hour Fitness Bay Fair. Got all these tank tops off. 30, sold them for 30 a pop. I got 900. I did another run of a different shirt. Sold those and just kept flipping that shit off for $300. The second shirt I made, I still sell this shirt to this day. It won't die. It won't die. Cool. The third shirt that I designed, after the first tank top, then the shirt, is still alive today. Meaning every season it sells so well that I bring it back the next season. It's been 9 years. Because when you ain't got no money, your ideas be fire. The design, the care, the intricacy that you put into that design, because this is it. This is it. There's been times, because money good, I design a whole bunch of shit in 15 minutes. If it dies, it dies. Don't work. Because it's a different energy. This is real shit. That's why if you ever have a favorite artist that's been your favorite artist for 7, 8, 9 years, what's some of your favorite songs? The ones at the beginning when they was in the struggle. There was pain and hurt and broke and fucking struggling and going through it and all that, because you in the studio, you ain't got nowhere to live. You living there. You ain't no food. The amount of creativity, that's the shit you need to prepare you. You know they ain't no, you've already adopted the fact that ain't nobody coming to save you. It's me, God, I'm gonna die doing this shit. I'm gonna live or die. Let's do this shit, fuck it, let's go. Now, here's the deal. That is the truth. That's how entrepreneurship is built. That's why a lot of times, this is a true story. A lot of times, if you have a job and you're an entrepreneur, it's tougher. Because you got security. It can be done. You just have to have the psychology to put yourself in that mode at all times. Regardless of what the money that's coming in. It's the same feeling of an investor. It's tougher. It's the truth. That's why in my world, the hoop world, the best kids is them kids out the trap. Little hood kids. They be playing like they in college at 11, 12 years old. Why? Because they ain't got no other options. There's no plan Bs for them. There's nothing. This hoop shit is all I got. It's beautiful. Like, that's why culture is created out the hood, because the creativity out of the hood, out of our communities, is so intense and beautiful because of the struggle. If you're the parent that's like, this is just fun for Timmy. I already have Timmy set up. He's going to go to Stanford, and he's already going to run the dentistry. So Timmy plays like that. You can see it in how Timmy play. After the game, oh, good job, Timmy. I don't give a fuck. Timmy, you already set up. But us? He stay with his grandma. And that's it. He ain't got no other options. So that's the difference. When you entrepreneuring, come on. I remember, and we'll move on after this point. My same mentor, after my first company crashed, and I told this story, I'm in my stubborn mode of like, I got to get my entrepreneurship back cracking, but nothing would stick. I wasn't making no real money. My brain wasn't fully recovered from my crash. I had divorced. I lost everything all at the same time. So I was mentally going through it. So I'm trying to start shit, and it ain't flying. It ain't popping off. So I'm still trying to figure it out, but I won't get a job. So at the time, I tried to get back with my ex-wife. I'm trying to make the ex shit work. And she like, look, if we gonna make this shit work, you gotta go get a fucking job. I'm sorry. This shit ain't popping. The entrepreneurship shit ain't it. Get a job. I ain't struggling with you. So I'm like, just give me a check. No, go get a job. If you want to make this. So I'm like, all right. So I applied for hella jobs. Outrageous positions, shit that I didn't think I was going to get. I'm just going for it, just so she could see that I'm trying. I get the fucking interview. So I go to the interview, I try to fuck it up. I'm leaning. You know, you can see all my tattoos and shit. I'm speaking with my hands. This is back when tattoos wasn't popular like that. Like, you was just straight thug. Man, I get the second interview. I'm like, these motherfuckers, the city of San Leandro won't leave me alone. So I go to and then there's a written test. I go to the written test. I'm like, damn it. So finally there's a last interview. So the last interview is with the people that will be working for you. So I was going to be supervising a bunch of people. So I walk into the room and it's nothing but black folks. And I sit down and they're like, they say it's between you and another guy. So I was like, all right. So I go sit down in the room with them. I don't give a fuck in the moment. I'm trying not to get the job. So I'm like, so y'all Raider fans or 49er fans? So they're like, oh, next thing you know, it's like, oh, we talking Raiders and football, and they fucking fall in love with me, right? So they offer me the position. It's like $114,000 a year. This is 10, 12 years ago. And at the time, I got an EBT card in my wallet, literally. All right, we got no money. So I was like, oh shit, they offered me this job. So I go to my mentor. I say, what do I do, mentor? And he said, look, man, it feels like 40, 50K. He's like, I can't tell you what to do with your family, business. You got 2 kids, a wife you're trying to win back. I can't tell you what to do with your money and your business. But if it was 40, 50, 60K, that's just enough for you to survive. That, you going on trips, you can save. You got enough money now to like relax and be comfortable. I just feel like if you're an entrepreneur, you'll get comfortable with that. I'm like, that's food for thought. So I said, hey, I appreciate the offer, but I will be turning it down. Thank you. Send. Now that's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy to do. You can pretty much imagine how long the little reconnect lasted. I'm out. As soon as I hit send, I heard bags packing. But in that moment, I'm like, I'm a motherfucking wolf. I'm a wolf. That's it. I'm a wolf. And I'm sticking on this line of being a wolf. And I get it. So I end up finding a job that was just survival. 33K, 36K a year. It was survival. So I'm hungry still. My refrigerator kind of empty, but we could get by. So it kept my hunger strong. That's the game. Now, what I'm suggesting is not what I suggest for other people, and it's not for everybody. But the psychology of a wolf, you're kind of psycho. You're kind of crazy. And the analogy that Nana gave a long time ago, where they was like, the dog was like, yo, we chilling, we eating, it's good over here. But he kept looking at that leash around his neck and was like, no fucking way I could do that. Bye, walk away. That's how wolves think. It's crazy. But the psychology of it is what helps you. It's when times is bad and when times is good. So that if you have the correct psychology, when you do get chunks of money or investment or waves of sales, you stay level-headed. Because you know this could be temporary, or where am I in this hype cycle? That's your first question. Where am I in this hype cycle? I hate to be all passionate and shit, but that's you ask one of them ones. All right, next slide.
How, what, when, where, who?
Those are Those are your questions that you ask for context in every situation. In every situation. You never leave a situation where somebody gives you a command or makes a statement towards you or expresses a belief and you don't ask one of these questions for clarity. I want to know what that means to you. If I say, man, I'm looking for somebody that's loyal, right? You think the word loyalty. I know what that means. I can look in the dictionary and read what loyalty means. But what does loyalty mean to you? What does loyalty mean to you? Same as the example of the accident. You'd be surprised how different the word loyalty shows up in people's definitions. That's why you gain clarity. You ask, what does that mean to you? What does that mean to you? I want great customer service. What does great customer service mean to you? What does loyalty mean to you? Well, you should have checked on me. I didn't know I should have checked on you. That's not part of my definition. But understanding what that means with you, then that helps you decide whether or not you want to fuck with a person like that. Because if that's abnormal or unnatural to you, then you know it's going to be a problem. If honesty to you means, hey, I'm just going to stick and move, and anytime you ask me a question, I'm going to be honest with you. If honesty means that to you, but to you, honesty means I need to be checking your phone all the time. I need to know the passwords of all your shit. It's two different types of honesty. You know what I'm saying? And neither one you can say is right or wrong. It's just your map. It's just your map. So how, what, when, where, and who? Well, I believe if somebody tells you a belief, where'd you get that from? Who taught you that? What do you mean by that? And once they tell you what they mean, then that gives you the clarity you need. Well, I was listening to Umar Johnson, and Umar Johnson said, or I was listening to 19 Keys, and 19 Keys said, or the Bible says, or whatever. That gives you clarity on on context of where they got it from. How'd you come to that? You remember the pot example that we talked about? The pot of gumbo? Remember that pot of gumbo example? Pot of gumbo, where mom was teaching daughter how to make gumbo. And she said, pour the liquid in the pot 3/4. Daughter says, why? Because that's how you make good gumbo. Yeah, but that kind of don't make no sense. Why? That's how you make good gumbo. She kept asking, girl, because that's how I was taught. Hold on, let me call my mom. Mom, this girl keep asking me, we just got to step 1 and she already asking me hella questions. Why do we pour the liquid to the 3/4 of the pot? Because that's how I was taught. Let's go to the source. So they finally asked mom's mom, why do we pour liquid to 3/4 of the pot? Because my pot had a hole at the top. So I could never pour it beyond 3/4 because it will spill out. Context. How? Why? Now you understand the maps. Because I said so, because that's how I was taught, because that's how it's always been. At least you know who you're dealing with. At least you know how well to trust. I don't trust nothing they say. I watch the news. I don't trust nothing you say. You watch the news? You get your information from the news? Okay. So these are your clarifying questions. Each one of these is your tool for clarity. Next slide.
Be conscious of how your customers' maps are constructed. Ensure your brand is set up to complement their worldview. This is how you create raving fans.
So much game in this. So much game in this. So much game in this. Raving fans is how you recreate repeat customers. Repeat customers is how you get referrals to create more customers. How you get raving fans is if you set up your business to complement the worldview of your customer, their map. So if you can't do none of this shit if you ain't in the how can I serve you energy. You ain't keeping that energy. So if you keep that how can I serve you energy, you're looking to create the world view that complements your customers' view of the world. At night, my daughter asked me to tell her a story. Tell me a story. So I always try to think of these stories that have meanings to it or morals to it that I can sneak in while I'm telling her the story. So I've been doing this since she was 3, so I didn't ran out of fucking stories. So now I just be making shit up on the fly. So I start off, I say, there once was a little girl and she was, and she one day realized she could fly. And she landed into this world where all her favorite cartoon characters were actually real and they weren't in costume like at Disneyland. And she said, wait, those characters at Disneyland ain't real? And she like stood up in her bed like, the answer you give me will fuck me up for life. Right? So I was like, they look real to me. Let's keep going. Because I ain't got time to deal with that right now. But what I learned and what it made me realize is that Disneyland's, the way they curate their map and their territory complements kids and adults so well that they don't know the difference between reality, fantasy, imagination, and it makes them addicted to this shit. You got grown ass people still going to Disneyland every year. It's a real thing. And guess what? It's hats off to Disneyland and the way they market and brand. Now, you got to be at Disneyland for your customers. What's your version of Disneyland for your customers? I can't really say, like, I don't know what voice I could use to say that can really come across to you where you like, I'm adopting this tonight and tomorrow. Like, this is going to be my governing belief moving forward in life. Like, you tell me how I need to say it to you. Because this will change your life. This shit, what I just said, will change your life. How can you create Disneyland for your customers? What is their Disneyland? And you create it. That will change your life. Investors are going to come running to you. Investors are going to come to you. Understand that. Every business is a Disneyland to somebody in their area what they need. Whether that is fucking gummy bears, chewing gum, that's my jam, massage, books, underwear, everything. You want to make people feel like they just left Disneyland of that thing. And you may be far off. You may be 4 years down the line in being able to get them there, but that is where you're going. And today, all I can do is just put a piece of candy in the bag. That's all I can do today. But as I grow, I know where I'm going. It's going to get better for you. It's going to get better. Just watch. Just stay with me. Ride with me. I promise. It's going to get better. And if you come back, it's going to be something else. It's going to be more. It's going to be added to. It's going to be better than the experience that you had last time. If you ain't doing that and your product is stagnant, if it is a good product, then your decline is slow. If it is a shitty product and it was all hype, then you just jumped off a cliff. And you're going to be like, what did I do? I don't understand. And you'll be blaming outside entities. It's on us. It goes back to the hunger. If I'm looking down, I'll tell you one of the worst feelings. We're talking about death, being afraid to die. And I said, going through the hell that I've gone, some of the hells that I've gone through in life, death ain't shit. Dying, that ain't nothing. I've been in experiences where it was worse than that. So one of the things worse than death is looking at your kids and knowing you can't feed them. For me, as a man, at that point, death is nothing. Man, I kill you. You experience, at least for me as a man, I've experienced a death when there was no possible options to feed my kids when they hungry. And the fucked up part is my ego was so high, I wouldn't ask for nobody. So it's shit worse than death. Things worse than dying. So the fuel and the hunger that creates when you build something, can't nobody teach you that. You can't write that in a business plan. That's why bootstrapping is so raw. So dope. You say, it failed. I'll just go back and get a job. I'm good. It's just, I'm good. All right. There's invisible elements of compound interest that happens when you're hungry. There's invisible elements. Does not mean that if at a certain point when you have certain psychology that you can't win. If you infuse or inject money in your business, but it comes with the right psychology. And again, 99, 98%, and it's not even something to think about. So, any questions so far? Good? Can we get the mic?
I kind of want to go over bootstrapping a little bit, just so I can understand it more.
Mm-hmm. So this is what bootstrapping is. You have an idea for a product, right? Intro delusion is a tool for entrepreneurs at the beginning, absolutely. You come up with this idea, you like, that shit can be dope. It could blow up. The whole world is gonna love it. That's how the psychology goes. And that is okay. That is okay. As long as your strategy to implement into the market is filtered. And when I say filtered, it means you run it through different filters to prove the concept of what you thought was a good idea. So you start to spend the money on product, on concept, on ideas, on designers, right? There's two paths. Path number one is, this idea is crazy. It's going to blow up. It's going to be the biggest shit ever. I'll write this business plan down. I'll write the projections, how much I think I'll make. I'll learn how to make the best business plans, and then I'll go on the road pitching my company to investors. That's the fork, right? The fork over, and here's a fork. You're going, you're not getting shit, right? But you're becoming better at presenting. And if you're 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th up as a presenter, you're taking notes on what all the other people are doing, especially the ones that get money. Ooh, I'm gonna take that note. I'm gonna try that on that. So on the next one, you do better. And then on the next one, you do even better. And then on the next one, you do even better. And next you know, you start taking this pitch competition shit. Start going to these pitch competitions where it don't matter if you got a good business or not. Whoever pitched the best will get $10,000, $50,000. You don't. What you don't realize is, at that point, you're not a wolf anymore. There's rare times where wolves can come out of that, but it's very, very rare. Because now your business now is the pitch, right? Is pitching. Route number one is more humble. It's how much money do you got in your account? And your business now, your job is your investor. Your job is your investor. So the smart thing for you to do is, say you make $3K a month. Your bills is $3,001 a month, right? The smart thing for an investor, for you to do, is start throwing shit out, reducing this, dropping out. If I don't need that, that's gone. Can I downsize some? Can I reduce? And now your cost of living is $2,000 a month. So not only do you have a little bit of startup money, but now you have an investor that will invest $1,000 in your business every month. That's how you do it. So the end of the year, annually, you got $12,000 a year investment in your business, guaranteed. So now you start building your product. You start trying things. You start giving it a go. You give it a go. Try this. It fails. Fuck. All right. You may not have none left no more, but next month you keep going and you're trying, and all the while your stomach's rumbling because you're sacrificing. You giving shit up. You ain't smoking trees no more. You ain't you quitting shit. You ain't drinking that much no more. You ain't going out no more that much. You ain't smoking weed as much no more because I need to save that shit. I need to invest that money into my business. You ain't buying the newest shoes and all the new outfits and trends that's coming out. Fuck that shit. I need to invest that in my business. So every minute of every day, you're thinking about how I can capitalize, maximize. And that's bootstrapping. You start where you stand. Now, you can have giant visions, because that's how businesses are started, with big visions. It's beautiful. This could go worldwide. That's where it happens, right? Man, this business could go worldwide. So now once you close your eyes, you're on your private jet. You visiting all your different worldwide sites and shit. Fucking French person got your shit on in France. You'll go there in your mind, but you have to be willing to go back to just your room and that one product and slinging that product. Hustle style. Because you're looking to flip and learn from every flip. That's the game. Now, know this. There's a group of people around you who love the shit out of you. Nothing you can't do that they don't fall in love because they love you. You have to also know how to bypass all that feedback. because everything you do is amazing. They just happy you doing some shit. And it's more than what they doing. They proud of you. They're proud of you. So if you say, what do you think of it's amazing. It's amazing. Man, look at my cousin. My cousin doing big things. Look at my daughter. She doing big things. Look at that's all beautiful. And it's good initial confidence booster, but it's not accurate data at all. The accuracy of data comes with an honest person, with negative feedback. That's what you listen to. What don't you like about it? Yeah, well, they fit good, but right around this part, they don't fit good for bigger girls. It just don't work. The elastic is too tight. When I take it off, I got little indents in my waist of the seam. I don't like that. Thank you. So I'm going to figure out a better seam that doesn't imprint. And you taking those notes. If you got honest people, you lucky enough to have honest people around you, them are your best friends. And so the beauty about bootstrapping is that you're going to fuck some shit up. So it's better you fuck some shit up on a $300 order than a $3,000 order or a $30,000 order. So that helps you climb the ladder of growth and scaling and skill building. When I first started off, I got my first big order a year later. Oakland Rebels AAU program. First big order. Shit, I got the Rebels. Rebels is a famous AAU program out of Oakland. And he gave me the whole everything. And back then, 9 years ago, he had a lot of teams. So it was a nice chunky little order for at the time what I was bringing in. I was so nervous with that order. First big order. All the uniforms came back, all like $30,000 worth of uniforms. They came back with no numbers on them and no logo on them. No numbers, no logo. And guess what happened? The uniforms came and I had to deliver them that night because it was tight time frame. So he's like, hey, we all practicing at Frick Junior High. Just bring them to Frick Junior High. I was so proud of the uniforms that I didn't open the box. I just put them all in my truck, in my car, and smashed to Fremont Middle School in East Oakland. I walk with my chest out in the gym and there's nothing but parents, and I open the box and I just proudly just start displaying them. Huh, that's crazy. Oh, that's one. Something's wrong with that one. And as I gone through, the whole box was like that. That was my baptism into the game, team uniform game. 30 G's. I didn't have 30 G's to I didn't have 30 G's. That's for fucking sure. So the beauty of it was Melvin, the director of the Oakland Rebels, saw something in me. He said, man, I'll fuck with you. All good, just fix it. I'll keep fucking with you. I see what you're doing. And gave me a second chance. Black man to black man, I see what you're doing. I see where you're going. We still do the Oakland Rebels to this day, 9-10 years later. But that was my baptism. Because there was no ramp up. It was, I'm trying to sell Courtsmith apparel. Somebody walks up to me and says, hey, do you do team uniforms? I say, yeah, I do. That's how we got into business. Yep, I do. How do I do this shit? So it wasn't like somebody had one team, two teams I can make mistakes along the way that were incremental, so that by the time I got to there, I was fully gamed up. My first deal. So fortunately, it worked out. But that's why it's important to bootstrap, because you'll be wasting a lot of fucking money. So I grabbed all the uniforms, and I went to at the time a place where they heat pressed uniforms. So I just went to the guy and said, "Hey, I'll pay you if you could let me use your heat press machine." Like, yeah, it's cool. So I went in the back, brought all those uniforms, and heat pressed numbers on them myself. But I'm embedding the lesson inside of me. So bootstrapping is always, whether, like Nana says, if you want a grocery store, put a fruit stand together. If you want to make a beverage company, do some homegrown bootleg shit from the house. You want to get in skincare, start with small vials that show value. Everything that like I said, 98% of the stuff that you want can start small. Can start where you stand. That's my motto. You start where you stand. I have a business, like the concept of Courtsmith, I have not really fully implemented it yet because it requires a substantial amount of money. The full initial reason why I started this company. So it requires investment. But if I put it aside, I'm gonna build the brand. I'm gonna start where I stand. 9 years later, we built a brand. We have traction, we have value. So bootstrapping is the way. Most people, we want to skip the step. Do one event, one thing. First thing, you ain't gonna make no money. Do it again. You lose a little less. Do it again. You break even. Do it again. You make $20. Do it again. You make $100. You keep doing that, and you're gonna learn little micro things along the way that makes you the amazing business person that you want to be. Ain't no amount of hope classes can fix that. Can magically jump into your soul, and now you're an amazing entrepreneur. That's what you got to do. That's what you got to do. Again, there's exceptions to every rule. Of course. So if you think, well, what about this company? What about them? What about them? What about them? Of course that's going to happen. It's going to be a them. But for you to have the highest probability of success, you move from a bootstrapping place. Start with one. Start with a little bit. Start with what could I start small? What can I start small? What can I start in this small little pocket? That's why I love going to little flea market shits. Because it reminds me, the energy reminds me of how, when I got started, that hunger. You want to talk about aggressiveness and, hey, come on, let me show you something. Come here. Hey, let me show you this. They'll show you all the angles, how it works, because that's how that hustle, you need that hustle. If you don't have hustle as a bootstrapped entrepreneur, you ain't gonna win. It comes from being hungry. I can't. This is sitting here. This is money potential. I can't buy no groceries with money potential. But I use my mouthpiece, convince you, I can eat. Whew. That was dope. I used to work with a group called The Team out of Oakland, rap group.
Oh, gosh. Oh, God.
They was
I can't say, just say.
they was a dope ass group. They part of the hyphy movement, right? We would go to every liquor store and sell CDs. Every liquor store, sell CDs, stand outside the liquor store. Guess what? Song got on the radio, boom. One song got on KMEL, and at the time, KMEL radio was still the thing. It's a song on the radio, and it's growing, going crazy. Guess what we doing? Still at the fucking liquor store. And you know what will start happening? We use the same pitch. Hey, you like music? You listen to rap music? Yeah, I listen to rap music. Hey, just support my CD. Here's my CD. What is it? You know, we a group called The Team. Y'all not The Team. We are the team. We the team. No, y'all not. You mean the team that's on the radio? Yeah, y'all aren't the radio. Where you get them CDs from? Because they couldn't fathom in their mind that we was out there still hustling. Man, better believe, like, we getting these CDs off. So then the next CDs, they put the faces on them. Man, hey, y'all ain't the team. You mean this getting hot the team? Yeah, y'all ain't the team. Look. Oh shit, y'all the team. What y'all doing out here? We doing what we supposed to do. We hustling. Now, at a certain point, you don't got to do that no more. It's smart for you not to. But if you don't have that, know what the fuck to tell you. Ain't nobody gonna roll up in your house and give you no shit. Like the whole investment thing and all those things, a lot of times that comes from a desire for a God to come down and hand you some shit. It's the Willy Wonka effect. You want to have the golden ticket. You want to be the one to have the golden ticket. But the thing is, you already are the one, but it comes from inside. You make that. You create that with your energy, with the fuel, with your passion, with your drive, and then you tweak and scale along the way. Helpful? Come on, blood. We rocking and rolling. Next slide. Let's play a game. Gold's Gym versus Crunch Fitness. So this is going to be an experiment in seeing if you understand about maps, territories, and worlds. So we're going to split the room up. 3 and 3. So this is the Gold's Gym side, and this is the Crunch Fitness side. Okay? You're on that side. So if you are a Gold's Gym and you have to create a map that's a Disneyland for your customers, I want you to write 10 things that your gym is going to have. And if you are a Crunch Fitness, you're creating a map for Crunch Fitness. I want you to write 10 things that your Crunch Fitness gym will have. So you guys have an understanding of Crunch Fitness and Gold's Gym? Mm-hmm. No, you're just making it up. So are you familiar with Crunch Fitness? So, okay, so the ones that know you guys know Gold's Gym? Okay, so here's some tidbits about each gym. Gold's Gym originated in LA, Southern California. The gym was created by bodybuilders, 4 bodybuilders, 2 bodybuilders. Okay? Crunch Fitness was created for non-serious people to work out. Just kind of the people who kind of, were considering getting back in shape, but they didn't want to be next to some sweaty guy, buff guy with a tank top on. So if you are targeting that customer, how would you set your gym up? And if you're targeting a serious bodybuilder, how would you set that gym up? What would be important, and what would be some of the values in that gym? So you guys got, say, 10 minutes to powwow. Online, anyone online, come up with ideas on how you would build a Gold's Gym. All right, 10 minutes.
drinks to introduce them to that. Now, here's where we go to the right. We would have like a sauna and massage chairs, a pool and a jacuzzi.
Yep.
And then we also thought about motivational music, like, to get them pumped up. And then two more things. Incentive challenges. So you know how sometimes they'll go, do this boot camp for 30 days. Whoever loses the most weight wins this pot of money, or, something to add to them showing up. And then last but not least, a separate area for like women who may not feel comfortable working out on an open floor, men or women, but like having a separate kind of workout space for them.
Good job. So what you guys have described on both sides, you've almost step by step, word for word, described what Gold Gyms looked like in the 80s and 90s. That's what they looked like if you ever walked into them back in those days. It's what it smelled like. It's what it looked like. And you guys described what a Crunch Fitness looks like almost to a T right now. And you guys have never been to one. So you guys have almost to a T described it. The only thing that you're missing is you're not allowed to come into the gym with boots on or jeans on. You're not allowed to come to the gym with the skinny tank top on. You're not allowed to flex in the mirror. You're not allowed to drop weights in your gym to make any sound. You're not allowed to grunt and scream while you're working out at your gym. And if you do, they have an alarm button that rings an alarm. And if you continue to do that, they kick you out. So understand, once you reverse engineer and try to create a map that complements the people that go to your gym, they will gravitate toward you. Somebody who's big and bulky and all he cares about is working out and getting big and buff and maybe competing, but just being massive, he don't give a shit about no smell. Matter of fact, that attracts him to you. The fact that the weights are old and they're metal and they clink, that makes him feel at home. It makes him feel at home. So there's some things that you may think that there are some things that are counterintuitive to great customer service, depending on the map of your customer. So you got to know those things on the surface and underneath. Great exercise.
Online, let's see, what did they say that we didn't? Okay, for Gold's Gym, parachute resistance wall? I don't know what that is.
Oh, yeah, I know a parachute, yeah.
One free class per month on like protein shakes, meal prep, with a free shake to go.
Meal prep, that's a good one.
Plyometrics classes, free military training, obstacle course, room with a built-in water weight balance machine. Everybody said lots of mirrors and muscle powders. Okay.
Yeah. What about a bathroom stall big enough for you to shoot your steroids?
We forgot about that. I remember we said that.
The stalls are not, they're not the skinny stalls, but you make them big and wider so you got space to, because that's what they be doing up in there. You don't say it, but it just happened to be big enough. It just happens to be big enough. You know what I'm saying? It's an unwritten thing, unspoken thing. Now you're advocating it though. But
technically, if we being honest, like in women's restrooms, we don't have the women's.
Yep.
I mean,
Technically, there's unwritten things that you can add. That's our equivalent of the Hennessy in our office. We got bottles of Hennessy because our OG coaches love them some Hennessy. So when they come, hey, they waiting for uniforms. Hey, what's up? You got a bar? You want a shot? What you want? I got Hennessy. Oh, yeah, I'll take a shot of Hennessy. That's experience. That's added to the experience. You know what they like. I know they on that. So you gotta that's how the game go. So people that love rave culture. Are they just there for the music? You know what they doing.
They getting it. Beat me up, Scott.
So that's why they got them glow sticks and all that shit, because it makes you trip out even harder when some people make music just based on that culture, because it makes you to enhance the feeling when you own that shit. Like that's what you're doing is you are aligning yourself, you're complementing yourself with a certain group of people's maps. If you make wine, who's drinking your wine? Are they the ones that on the weekend do wine tours? Or are they the ones who are unhappy at home with their significant other and their kids, and everybody go to sleep, they own a bottle a night? You got to know which one is which. And you cater. The name of your company even caters to that particular person. Remember Calgon, Take Me Away? Soap is soap. Bath soap is soap, but soap is fucking soap. But Calgon, it immediately targeted the map of the woman who was stressed the fuck out at home with kids and husbands and all kind of shit. And it was Calgon, Take Me Away. So guess what? It became the mantra of women in the 80s and 90s. Man, I just wish Calgon would take me away. They branded overstressed women and needing a break with a bath of just this type of soap. You can get rich and wealthy by understanding the maps of other people and complementing your business with their worldview. Come on, cuz, like, come on. I'm giving you my best work. Mm-hmm. This the shit. Mm-hmm. I don't know how this is the shit that'll change your shit. Mm-hmm. I ain't, you know what I'm saying? I got Oakland Public School education and all, so I don't have a lot of the words, but I got enough that if you listen and do it and try it, you could change your whole shit. This is simple. It requires humility, though. It requires service. It requires service. The world will open up to you when you have service. The world will open up to you. And you anticipate. The game is different. The game is different. But was that helpful? Was that dope? All right. Next slide. Two. You can go 2 slides. So, you got to kind of read this backwards. You can read the white first and the red next. After that.
What happens when you map reality? You delete, distort, and generalize.
Okay. So, every human being on this planet, we have a map. We have a map of the world. Now, our map, we know our map is not the territory because we have to shrink it down for us to live, for us to maneuver, for us to move in the world. So, what happens when we map reality? We already know map is not the territory. So we have maps, but what happens? What are the steps that we take when we map reality? First thing we do is delete. Second thing we do is distort. Third thing we do is generalize. And that's how you create your maps. Next slide.
Deletion helps you zone in on what is important. However, you lose detail.
So, if you had a map, and again, none of this is wrong, is what we do. So the The smart thing to do when you create maps of reality in the world is to delete. Because if you had a map, if you had to visualize a map, you're looking on top of the map. If you had to put all the buildings, all the potholes, all the houses, all the apartments, all the stop signs, if you had to put all the lights, red light, green light, yellow lights, you had to put all the lines in the streets, all those things will add more bandwidth to your map. It's too much. You have to delete the map down to its basic and simplistic form to get you from point A to point B. I'm going from this street to that street. I'm making a right at this street. Then I'm making a left at this street, and that will get me to my destination. You knowing, you seeing a McDonald's and a Carl's Jr. and this restaurant and this apartment and these people hanging out in front of it, all those are unnecessary for the purpose of the map in that point. So you have to delete. Does that make sense? You have to delete. You have to. I don't need that. I don't need that. I don't need that. I don't need that. I need take that away. I don't need that. I need, this is the street I'm on. This is the street that I'm going to. And how do I get there? Left, right at these particular junctures. Everything else has to fade. So we're going to delete. Now, the downsides of that is at times there are going to be some details that we lose. There's going to be details that we lose. Case in point, have you ever programmed it to your GPS to go to a certain place? You knew the area, say Oakland, somewhere in Oakland, but you was too lazy or you lightweight forgot how to get there, or you just wanted to see what the GPS way, the fastest way the GPS wanted to give you. So you input it where you wanted to go. But the GPS didn't know that it was taking you through the fucking hood. It was taking you through the hood. You was going through 77 and Holly, coming out on E14, and it's like midnight and all, and you like, oh shit, no. I'm gonna go this way. I know how to get there. I know it ain't cool over here at midnight. So I'm gonna take this long route. The GPS doesn't know that. It doesn't know those details. So that's where some of the times where it can work against you because you lose some of the details. It doesn't know the crime rates of the area. It doesn't know where the potholes are. So you might lose a tire fucking around with GPS because it don't know that by the on San Leandro Boulevard next to the BART tracks, the potholes are terrible. You see what I'm saying? So that's why you always have to know the map is not the territory. But when you do thing number one, and that's delete, you got to know that you might be deleting some valuable information. Next slide.
Distortion helps narrate a powerful story. However, it creates delusion.
So we have to also distort things. We have to make them bigger than they are. We have to make them bigger than they are in order for us to see them or remember them clearly. We're going to have to distort some things. Distortion also allows us to equalize things across the board. Did you know the actual map of the world, right? They have the United States and then South America, relatively the same size on the map. You guys kind of recall that? Did you know South America is like 4 to 7 times bigger than the United States? But they draw that for the sake of keeping the map looking congruent. Did you know you can fit all of the continents inside of Africa? Did you know that? But Africa looks like around the same size as the other ones. That's the type of distortion that has to happen when you're creating maps. because it has to create some continuity, some regularity among map creation. But Africa is actually gigantic, and you can fit every continent inside Africa, and South America is way bigger. I think either 4x or 7x than the United States. You would never, in your brain, because we think the map is the territory, it's mind blowing. Really? Damn, that's crazy. So we make distortions. We do. One of the distortions that we also make is the United States is the center, is the middle piece. It's in the center of the globe, which is a fucking lie. Because there's a thing called the equator, and the equator is where it's the hottest. And so if you look on a map that you can spin, you'll realize that the United States and the equator is way off. It's distorted. So when you create maps, you distort it based on your beliefs. Your beliefs is what allows you to distort your map. If you decide that I'll think of a better example. Well, we'll keep going. Next slide.
Generalization helps you tag things quickly, however, it lacks nuance.
Okay, so we got to generalize too with maps. We don't have time. It'll take you forever to map out something if you want to be 100% accurate. You cannot be 100% accurate because you'd have to draw it out the size of the actual land. So if something was a mile away, if you wanted to make the most accurate map, you'd have to draw a map that's a mile long. You understand that? So you have to create a micro version, a scaled down version of it. And in the scaled down version, you got to generalize. The water's here, water's cold, there's mountains here, there's a lake here, there's a street here. But there are some nuances in that you're going to lose. It just lacks it. You don't know. You don't know 100%. So you cannot rely 100% on your map. You have to use it with a grain of salt. You have to use it. You have to go, but you have to keep your head on a swivel. So when you're thinking, when you're coming up with ideas, when you have the best fucking idea in the world or the best business idea in the world, you got to keep your head on a swivel. This feels good. Part of me telling me this is a really great idea, but I know that my map is not the territory, so let me keep my head on a swivel. Let me look around and look for details and gain data and get clarity as I go. Have to.
Overgeneralization looks like everybody, nobody, always, never, and nothing.
So if you ever hear this, run. If you're having conversations, especially in business, and you hear somebody speak in terms of that, you run. You don't listen to a fucking thing. You don't believe nothing. Because all those are overgeneralizations. And when somebody overgeneralizes with your money or your time or your ideas, then you're compromised. You're compromised. Because all of those words are backed by tremendous amount of emotion, pain, and hurt. You always do that. Man, you don't never ever, never? Man, nobody fucks with me. Man, I don't got nothing. You don't have nothing? Is that true? You have nothing. You don't have life. You don't have breath. You don't have a place to lay your head. You don't have a car. You don't have friends. You don't have family. You have nothing. So that's probably one of the most dangerous places that you can swim around is in that thinking and being influenced by someone who thinks like that. So understand the difference between generalization and overgeneralization. Okay? Generalization is okay. We have to. We got to move with generalization. A lot of times we don't have the option to get 100% accurate information, details, and data on every single thing. You got to generalize. You have to. But overgeneralization is where it gets dangerous. Questions about that? Good? Next slide.
Delusion is the gateway to drift.
So, if we talk in delusion, when you distort and you continually distort and no one challenges your distortions, and if you normalize your distortions and people around you normalize your distortions, then you'll soon become delusional. And that's the gateway to drift. When you start thinking you the shit and you believe it and people around you reinforce that you are, and you have so much growing and learning to do as a person, as a business person, as an entrepreneur, you're drifting. You just drifted. And it's scary. Drifting is scary. And here's another thing. No matter where you are in life, everyone is susceptible to drift. Everyone. Everyone can drift. And we're always drifting. Because we play in this game of life. And this game of life is like being in the ocean. So if you are not paddling towards a direction, if you don't know where true north is, if you can't see land and you can't position yourself to where land is, and you don't have a navigation system around you, then you're constantly trying to find where you are. Where am I? I'm lost. I don't know where I'm at. When people say I'm trying to find myself, it's I've drifted. I don't know where I'm at. It took me 2011, 12. It took me 3 years to get out of drift, to get out of depression and drift. It took me 3 or more. 3 or 4. Rock bottom, heavy depression. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know where I'm at. I have no idea. Don't know what I'm doing. I don't know. Any day you'll catch me doing some new shit. What you doing this week, Court? Well, I'm rapping again. What you doing this week? I'm the weed man. I don't know shit. What you doing this week? I'm so drifted. You wouldn't even recognize that version of me. Because that's what happens when you drift. That's what happens when you drift. And it can happen with anybody. So, next slide. So, how do you stop drifting? How do you stop drifting? So, here's the thing. We talk a little bit about change. We talk about change, wanting to change. The whole idea of this fucking class, entrepreneurship class, is about change, changing where you are to where you want to be. It's not about, like, we're an entrepreneur thinking class. It's about change. It's about entrepreneurship in your thinking, right? But it's not just about your thinking. The goal and the intention is for you to use the thinking to change your outcomes, so you change your results. Thinking is the first step. But we show up every week, for sure I do, because I want to see your money change. I want to see your life change. I want to see your business change. In order to do that, you have to change. In order for you to change, your thinking has to change. And in order for your thinking to change, you have to stop drifting away from where you want to be towards where you want to be. And how do you do that? First, you just like on the water, you got to anchor yourself. You got to drop the anchor. Drop the anchor. Second, you got to get honest with yourself. Let's get honest with yourself. Being completely transparent and honest with yourself allows you and gives you clues as to where you are. Here's questions you do not want to ask. God, why does this always happen to me? Why, God, why? I never get to, man, this always happens to me. All you're doing is reinforcing your drift. And you got to understand, there's a couple of us in here who are kind of woo-woo-ish, but this is some woo-woo shit you want to learn. Your words are powerful as fuck. So you have to be careful, especially if you down, especially if you're in a bad place, especially if you're in depression. You have to start being very mindful of what comes out of your mouth, because all you're doing is reinforcing where you are if you're speaking in terms of always, never, nothing. Those are damaging words to you. Those are damaging words. And here's the deal. It's not the truth. So you really believing a lie that's allowing you to stay stuck. Because if you're real with yourself, then it's not never, or it's not always. It's the last 4 times. The last 4 times. So on my 48 years on this planet, the last 4 times I done fucked up royally. Okay, so it's not as bad as always. I already feel better. 4 times. Why does this always happen to me? It's not always. It happened to you 4 times. Things are looking up. Right? So you got to be honest with yourself. It's not always, and it's not never. You want to change, you got to anchor yourself, and it starts with honesty. Question is, where are you? Where am I now? That's the next one. Where am I now? Where am I? I don't know. Let's ask again. Where am I? Well, let's start looking at some clues. The equivalent of that when you out at sea is I anchored myself, so I know I'm not going nowhere. So the question is, where am I? Well, shit, I can't see land anywhere, so I don't fucking know. But there are clues. There are clues. You just have to look. You have to pay attention. You have to calm yourself and start looking around. Where are the birds flying from? What direction are the birds flying from? Where's the sun? What time is it? What are the waves doing? Are they heavy? Are they light? Do they have ripples in them? Are they still? Are there any sticks in the water? Is there any wood or sticks that's floating through the water? Where are they floating from? If you really get quiet and you really start paying attention to details, you'll start seeing and noticing clues that could give you hints to where you are. God don't do that. You'll find out. if you really pay attention. How deep did you have to anchor down? Was it 10 feet, 20 feet, 30 feet? That tells you where you are. If it's 10 feet, that means Earth is only 10 feet down. Versus 30 feet, you might be deep in the motherfucking ocean. Once you start paying attention and really get detailed about where you are, you can get clues on how to get home, how to get where you want to be. Stop lying to yourself. Get out of delusion. Second is hard stops. One thing about drift, you got to know that you're always going to drift. So if you're always going to drift, you know what you got to set up for yourself? Hard stops in those areas. So if we go to a weight example, if I'm in a gym and I'm working out or whatever, that's fine. And my weight is 200. My weight is 200. That's my fighting weight. I like to be at 200. I get to 210. My little belt, I start undoing it. One little extra hole. Then like the elastic on my underwear start peeling back, peeling over. The fuck is that? I get on the scales, 220. 225, I'm like, oh, fuck. I got to get my shit together. That's my hard stop. That's my hard stop. I can't do it. This is outrageous. I make a big-ass deal of it because that's a hard stop. I ain't letting myself, let's go. Back on it. And if you put hard stops in place for you, then that will allow you to, if you do drift, it sets off alarms. If you bypass the alarms, you got another alarm. Those hard stops allow you to, is what I used to call braille driving when we used to drink a lot. I used to drink a lot and I'd be driving home. I'd drift off, and then the bumps on this side of the road wake me up. And then I drift off, and the bumps on this side of the road, those are guide rails. Those are guide rails to keep you in line. If you bypass those guide rails, you're hitting a wall. So you have to have as many of those in place in your life, which protects you in the case of drift. Because if you're one of the smart folks in this class, then you can justify, rationalize, intellectualize every fucking thing. Well, I actually went to this one trainer and they said it's good for me to eat, high carb meals and lots of red meat. There's lots of studies now that says red meat and high carbs is good for shut that shit up. How is it affecting your body? How is it affecting your body? How is it affecting your health? We can intellectualize and mouthpiece anything if we're one of the smart ones. Fuck that shit. You know what's best for you. It don't have to make sense for nobody else. It has to be the best for you. I became a vegetarian, pescatarian, all that shit since 2007. 2023, I was like, I want to get back. I want to get some chicken. I want to eat some chicken again. It can't be that bad. Like I think I can implement that in my diet. It's been hella years. I don't even know if it's still a thing for me. Man, I bit into some chicken in January. I was like, oh my God, this shit is so good. Fried chicken, I'm going crazy with chicken. I'm going crazy with chicken. Chicken fried. 4 months into it, I start coughing. a little bit. All right, no, that's nothing. We good. 6-7 months into it, I'm coughing like I used to be. At every meal, I have to drink a sip of water. My acid reflux hates chicken. And my acid in my body, it reacts to chicken over time. So August, September, I'm like, damn it, I gotta quit chicken. But maybe it's something else, because this chicken is hella good. Maybe it's something else. And it's got worse and worse and worse and worse. Until a month ago, I'm like, all right, fuck it. Back onto my old diet, coughing went away. No more, done. I can't explain it. I don't understand why it's like that, but it is what it is. And you got to understand what that is for you to ensure you ain't drifting. Because, I mean, you know how to stop your drift. It's important. Because in business, you never know. Josh, stop. You acting like a little fucking kid over there.
Josh came in.
Teaching a class. You gotta know how to stop your drift. Nana ain't here and he running around like the bad kid in class. Pull out my belt and whoop your ass. Next slide.
How do I shift and what questions do I ask? You need leverage.
How do you shift and what questions do you ask? So in order for the slide before you that to work, you have to have leverage. You have to have leverage. What reason do you have to grow or change or expand or blow up a business if you ain't got no reasons that are big? What reasons do you have to grow? If I say, hey, why do you want a successful business, Ashley? And you're like, shit, I don't know. Because, everybody doing it. You have no fuel. Hey, why do you want to change your body? Shit, I don't know. Look good on Instagram. Shit, I don't know. Those aren't big enough reasons. You need leverage. You need leverage. You need something that's big enough to be like, I gotta do this. I gotta make this happen. I've had enough of where I'm at right now. You have to feel that where you at right now sucks so bad that you gotta change. Where I'm at right now sucks so bad that I gotta have a better life. I can't do this shit. I can't live like this. You got to. That's psychological shit. So there was a case study done on a woman. She was highly successful, multimillionaire. And they said, how'd you build this? Like, what happened? She's like, I was married and I asked my husband for $10. And he said, what for? And I'm like, $10? What for? I'm not ever asking your ass for money again. And that was enough of a fuel to get her going. You need leverage. So if you ain't never had no come to Jesus moments or like aha moments or down in a dungeon moments or depression moments or any of those moments, then you have to find leverage. You have to find reasons why. On both sides of the fence. On if I do, this is how good my life is going to be. And if I don't, this is how fucked up my life is going to be. Or my health is going to be. Or my relationships are going to be. Or whatever it is in those 5 pillars. It doesn't work without that. So I used to stay right across the street from the from the cemetery in East Oakland, 64th and Mac, 64th Avenue Place. And all of us kids had the same similar life. And we would play That's My Car. And we would look up in the Oakland Hills and be like, that's going to be where I'm going to live. That's all we had because we didn't have shit. And all of us watched our single mom struggle like a motherfucker. My mom didn't have a car. We walked everywhere. We walked to church. We walked this. We walked that place. It was embarrassing in a fucking 3-piece suit on a Sunday walking to church. Watching my mom struggle, walk to work. She worked at the Eastmont Mall, and then it'd be dark as fuck, and she had to walk home in a pitch black next to the cemetery in East Oakland in the 80s. Like, I was stressed out like an old man every day. So the fuel of like, I'm going to get you out of here. We going to get out of here, I promise. I didn't know I was building leverage. I didn't know. But if you have a son or a daughter or a child, then if you want to make their life better than how yours was, we know money is not 100% of the answer, of course. But if you want to build a business as something that you can pass down and create a legacy for, that's part of their legacy. We're the ones breaking a generational bullshit. We're the ones breaking it. You need reasons. And that reason gives you the leverage. There's people who want to lose weight, can't do it. And one day they go to the doctor and the doctor say, you about to die. And all of a sudden they find the know-how to lose weight. Leverage. That's what they got, leverage. Oh shit. A lot of street dudes who street dudes in the street, and they had a come to Jesus moment, and now they in the church. Leverage. I've been trying to get you in the church this whole time, but sometimes it takes leverage. Some people are hard-headed. They drift right on through the leverage. They'll drift right on through the leverage. That's why I say a hard head make a soft ass, because if you drift through this leverage, the leverage gets harder, bigger, stronger. And if you keep drifting through the leverage, the lessons, then it becomes a bigger problem. But next slide.
Stop judging others.
So you have to ask questions before. So one more thing, you have to ask questions. Not the why, not why God. That's not the questions you ask. The most powerful questions you can ask is, what can I do to get better today? What can I do? What can I do to generate more revenue today in my business? What can I do to build more self-discipline and control? What can I do to quit this? What can I do to get on a routine and start working out more? What can I do? The what can I do question is a powerful question to get you there. Your brain is powerful, so what it will start doing is giving you ideas on what you can do. If you say, why am I so fucking stupid? You'll say, because you're a fucking idiot. Because you're an idiot. You don't listen. You got a hard head. I know, huh? But if you ask, what can I do to improve my situation in this area, ideas will flow. Man, you know what you should do? Why don't you talk to somebody who has what you want? Just take them out to lunch. Let me write down some things. You will find that there are things that you already know in yourself right now. You can start with those things. It's not going to be revolutionary. It's going to be little. But here's the deal. Stop being all judgy and shit. Stop being all judgy. Y'all judging people for. Stop judging people. Y'all, If you trying to build something and grow, you hella quick to judge another person, what somebody else is doing, where they are, where they not, making fun of what they got, what they doing. Stop judging. You can't grow. You can't build anything if you hella judgy. You cannot, because subconsciously, you're going to sabotage yourself. You just are. Because the guilt of you being judgy, you're going to feel like you're getting judged when you're building. Because building is awkward. Building a business is like being a 6, 7, 8-year-old kid. For hella years. You got a big head, buck tooth, one long arms, big feet, short body. Like, that's how you look. You ain't cool. You don't look cool all the time. So if you the one laughing at that person, then you're going to be afraid to go through those stages, because you think that you're going to be treated the same way you treated others. It's your motherfucking karma. Stop judging people. What they is, what they not. You don't know what step they are in life. They may be at the perfect stage for where they are. And it is lots of growth moving forward. Because the thing is, what did you learn? Another question you can ask yourself to get out of drift and to move faster towards your goal is, what did I learn from this? What did I learn from this? Because the learning is what propels you to the next level. What can I learn from it? What did I learn? What can I learn from it? What did I learn from it? Because if you accumulate the lessons, there's only one place you can go. Next slide. Mother Teresa and rich assholes. So, this is a true story about a woman who her lifelong dream was to meet Mother Teresa, because she herself was doing work that was humanitarian in nature, and her goal was to help people grow, help people who are sick, do things for people who are less fortunate. That was her mission, and her idol was Mother Teresa. Okay? So she finally, after years, she got to meet Mother Teresa, because Mother Teresa heard about the work she was doing, and she called for her. So she went out there to go meet with Mother Teresa, and they sit at the table, and she goes into her spiel about how humbled she is to meet Mother Teresa, and how beautiful the work she has been doing, and how God has been working through her, and she motivated her to become a version of her. And before she can Mother Teresa put her hand on her hand and said, I've been watching what you were doing, and I'm so happy and proud to have anything to do with your work. And as she's telling her this, some rich assholes comes into the convent. Rich assholes. And damn near yanks Mother Teresa off of her and say, come on, take a picture with us. Take a picture with us. Come here, take a picture. Didn't ask, can I talk to you? Are you busy? Can I help you? Can you help me? Are you guys busy? She yanked her up, moved her around, and then gave the camera to the woman to say, take a picture of us. Move, move, move. Come here, get in. Put that arm around Mother Teresa. Mother Teresa's like getting in there, taking the picture. Rude, acting like rich, pompous, entitled assholes. All the while the woman furious. How dare you touch Mother Teresa like that, let alone jerk her around and move her and command her what to do and what picture to take. She's pissed. So after they take the picture, the rich assholes storm off. All right, we done. All right, we out of here. They storm off. No buys, no thank yous, no nothing. So Mother Teresa sits back down with the woman, and the woman is so furious that she can't even speak. She can't even say the words. These fucking rich assholes. So the question that she was finally able to say was, why were you so gracious to those people? Why were you so gracious to those rich assholes? She didn't say assholes. And you know what Mother Teresa said? She said, it's very easy for you in all your humanitarian work to be gracious of people who don't have money, who are less fortunate, who are impoverished, who are hurt, who need healing, who are sick. But the moment the same type of person who's healing, sick, broken, impoverished, when they need help too, the fact that they have money, now you can't stand them. You have to have your empathy and your graciousness across the board. When you think of somebody that has money, you're psychologically trained to think that they have everything. But in actuality, they're just as broken as those people that we're healing. They just got money. And that's why us as entrepreneurs, we have to understand money ain't the thing. Money's like somebody being tall. Money's like somebody being pretty. And then a pretty girl say, I'm depressed. And you're like, girl, you too pretty to be depressed. Like, what? Or in a hoop world, they be like, if I was tall as you, I'd be in the NBA. Lies. Being tall ain't everything you need. Or is every tall person be in the NBA? One of tools. So we have to have empathy and graciousness across the board. Because guess what? One day, God willing, you guys are going to be rich assholes to somebody. Because perception is everything, and the map is not the territory. So they may deem you just an asshole just because you got money. They ain't met you yet. So you got to understand, context, empathy, graciousness, and judgment goes across the board. Don't start turning your lip up when you hear somebody who got money or rich or no. They're just a human being just like you. They just happen to have some bread. But they have the same issues, circumstances, problems, emotional breakdowns as you do. Any questions? Good? Mm-hmm. All right. Josh. No. All right. Well, I guess we'll see you guys next week. I hope you have a nice week. And I hope you look at life in a place to where tomorrow morning when you wake up, you fucking get that shit. You go get that shit. You don't leave nothing on the table. You go get that shit. Ain't nobody gonna hand you nothing. They ain't gonna give you shit. Don't rely on nobody to give you or drop down, float nothing down to you. You gotta go get the shit. You gotta go take the shit. Cause that's what wolves do. We take that shit. All right? Bye.